You know, there's just something so nice about going to a movie you weren't expecting much from, and then you leave the theater kind of awestruck. And that's what The Long Walk gave us. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Coda's Cove, everybody. Today we're going to be reviewing The Long Walk. So, as you can guess, I enjoyed this movie a lot more than what I was going to. This was a very pleasant surprise. This is a movie adaptation of a novel written by Stephen King. There's been so many of those. Some of them hits, some of them misses, some of them are meh. This one, though, this might be one of the better ones that I've seen. So, what I really appreciate about this film, and if you know me and have watched my content for a while, you know that I love character development in movies and TV shows. I think it's so important to a story to have good character development so we actually care about these characters that we're watching throughout this film. And I have to say, The Long Walk does a beautiful job with this throughout the entirety of the film. The premise of this film is very simple. They give it away even in the trailer. You walk or you die. This movie can fall very easily into being a complete snooze fest, but the character development and the attention to detail in the film makes it such a fun ride. You are pretty much invested from start to finish. David plays Peter, Cooper plays Ray, and these two, their chemistry on films is so good. David Johnson is going to be a star more than likely. David Johnson's acting in this movie, his dialogue with Cooper, they deserve some award nominations. They probably deserve to win some best supporting actors, best actors in the film for the year 2025. Their acting, their dialogue was so good in the film. It really carries the film. As said earlier, you can get very bored with this film, but these two do such a phenomenal job. Some of the deep conversations they have each other while they're trying to keep each other awake during this, because if you don't walk past 3 miles per hour and you stop on the third warning, you get shot and killed. That's it. That's the name of the game. And there are scenes in here where Ray is literally sleepwalking and Pete is trying to keep him awake, and some of the conversations they have about what's their goal for winning this, what would they do with the money. I mean, I was blown away. They did such a good job. In this film, very early on, all these contestants kind of form one big brotherhood. Yeah, there's a few outcasts from the group, and there's some that don't get along with others, but overall, you really believe this little brothership that they form just from a few miles of walking. I mean, these guys, that's all they're doing is walking and talking, and you believe the chemistry they build with one another. Like they've been friends for a while. It was very cool to see. Now, what this film has going for it as well is the brutality of it. You see it in the trailer, you don't get the full effect of it. It gets very brutal very quickly. And one of the deaths in the scene, one of the first ones you see, is a young kid who gets a Charlie horse. And man, I wasn't expecting them to show everything. I thought they were going to do the little editing trick when somebody gets shot. They look at him as like, the weapons being pointed at him, and then they pan to other characters' faces of shock value. No, no. The first death you see jaw get blown off from up close. It is brutal. There are some other scenes that have to deal with bodily injuries, and that is one of the attentions to detail that make this film so good. It asks questions like, what do these people do when they have to use the restroom? There are scenes in here where people are just, dropping drawers, dropping logs, and they're trying to do it within the little time limit of their warnings. And your hair's raising up. You're on the edge of your seat like, oh my gosh, are they really going to die from this? And it was very cool how they did that. They address people not wearing the right footwear. They address like bringing certain types of snacks, not having enough water. Very well done. It makes you really feel for the people that do like these long marathons and decathlons and things like that, because this is stuff you wouldn't think of. And it's like, this is literally life or death for them. Like, how do they cope with this stuff that's happening? Because it's a natural bodily function. Like, how do they get through it? Very well done. There's a kid in here who acts like a bully that is trying to, one up everybody and trying to play mind games with them so he can last till the end. He's a real big douchebag in this film. Does a good job in his role, but you're hoping something happens to him because there's some stuff that happens that you're just like, man, what a piece of garbage. And the way the story progresses and what happens to him, it's like, whoa, Didn't know where that was going. Kind of came out of left field. Wasn't expecting it, but it was a nice little twist of events for me. There is a problem I have with that though. They kind of hint at him like trying to be like a master schemer, trying to get into people's head to get the upper hand on people. And it feels like halfway throughout the film, they just kind of abandon that point and they come back to him and whatever his like resolution is for the film. It felt a little forced, kind of a little rushed. Like, all right, like they almost forgot about that plot point. So that's a little nitpick I have with the film. The ending of this film, I mean, it tugs at your heartstrings. I shed a tear in theater. It was very emotional. You built a connection with a lot of these characters, and it was very sad. We'll say though, didn't really like the ending. I thought they could have done something a little bit more. It just kind of you're like, it leaves you with a lot of questions, like what happened. I felt like they could have like maybe tightened that up a little bit, but overall, had a lot of fun with this film. So for my rating, as I said, this is very fun, entertaining from start to finish. This could have been a total snooze fest, but I'm glad to say this movie is not that. I really, really freaking enjoyed this movie. This is one that if, I still was collecting physical media, I'd probably get the steelbook for it. I enjoyed it that much. So for my rating for this film, I was gonna go ahead and give it an 8, but you know what? I'm actually gonna bump that up. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10 for The Long Walk. Thought it was very well done. There are some parts I didn't like, some stuff I was just like, I wish they would have tightened it up a little bit, but it's very visceral. The character development throughout the film and the banter between all the characters is phenomenal, if you ask me. It is award worthy. So if you haven't gone and seen this in theaters, I highly suggest you do, because I think it is well worth the price of admission to go and see this in theaters and experience it. Have you seen The Long Walk? If so, comment below. Let me know, what did you think of the film? And as always, if you like the content, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, but more importantly, be a friend, tell a friend about the channel. We're on our way to 10,000 subs. Thank you everybody so much for all the support you've shown. Just let everybody know, come on down to the Cove because the water is fine, baby.